Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Brewin on Broad Street. I'm Steve Snyder, entrepreneur in residence here at Gesmer Updegrove, and it's a treat for me to be here this morning with my good friend Anna Byrne, founder of Eckert Byrne, a life and legacy planning law firm. Anna is one of the smartest and most considerate, thoughtful people I know, so I am overjoyed to have you join me.
Thank you so much, Steve. It's such a pleasure to be here with you today. We've known each other for so long, and it's just such a treat to have an opportunity to chat with you like this.
Thank you. Thank you. So tell us about you and tell us about the firm.
So I am an attorney, and I founded...
We won't hold that against you.
I founded Eckert Byrne 15 years ago this month. Eckert Byrne is a life and legacy planning law firm. We help people with estate planning and estate administration. And I started the law firm in order to create a different way to go about estate planning. I started off as a tax attorney, and everything to me was about numbers and taxes. But life taught me that life is more about love rather than just numbers. And so I started a law firm in order to focus people not so much about death and taxes, but about love. And that's why it's life and legacy, because the gift of estate planning is your legacy to the people you love.
So I know we both work with lots of tech companies and tech entrepreneurs. Why is it so important that business owners start thinking about life and legacy planning, not just when they are older, but when they are younger?
So the interesting thing about our lives is that we're all going to die. And we don't know when that's going to happen. And so I believe that you have to be prepared. I first experienced loss when I was 28. My husband was 33 when he died. Certainly very unexpected. And I hope that we all live to a very ripe old age, but we don't know when that's going to happen. I think business owners and entrepreneurs in particular have a duty to create an estate plan, because most business owners have thrown everything into their business, right? It's their nest egg. And they have a duty not just to their family to plan for them, but to their team, to their employees, and to their investors, perhaps. And so, it may not even be death. It may be an incapacity, right? It may be that you get sick, you have cancer, you become incapacitated, or someone in your family becomes incapacitated. It's really important to create an estate plan, because estate planning, yes, it's about what happens when you die, but it's also what happens if you're incapacitated. So I think, given the fact that business owners really view their business as their baby, as really their life's work, as their biggest investment that they're making, they really probably need to create a plan as soon as possible to protect what they are building.
And I just heard you say you refer to them when they die, but in the way you describe this, it is so much less about the death of the person and so much more about the life of the team that they have brought together and the business that they have built and all of those who have connected to that business, whether it's other owners, leadership team, customers, financing sources. And so it's taking care of all of those who continue to live in spite of the death of the one person.
Absolutely. When you die, you're gone. It's everyone else that has to pick up the pieces and move forward. And usually what is missing is the voice of the person who's gone. They're not at the table anymore. They're not there to consult with in making any decisions. So I think it's very important to be able to articulate those things. And not all of these things have to be put into a will or a trust or something like that. It's really creating a plan and writing down the vision of what you would want to happen, because that's what people are going to be looking for when you're not around anymore.
The age range of our audience is wide. We have people that have been running their companies for decades, down to entrepreneurs that have started their companies within the past 2 or 3 or 4 years. What message and advice do you have for the younger entrepreneurs to get them to really start focusing on this topic?
I think you have to recognize that, yes, you're young, and yes, you are invincible at this age. But the reality is that you don't know. There is no way of knowing. I mean, look at what happened in 9/11, right? We had, an Akamai founder die on one of the planes. You just don't know what is going to happen in life. And I think as an adult, it is our responsibility to take ownership of creating a plan for, God forbid, something happens to us prematurely. And isn't it better to know that you have created something that's going to, be a legacy and a help to those that you've left behind, than not? It's such a gift to have that peace of mind. I've done a fair number of end of life, kind of deathbed plans, and it's horrible. It's horrible. We've had clients who were in their 30s who died, who were, died in their sleep. And I don't want to scare people. I really hope that we all live to a very ripe old age, but we don't know. And having a plan is for you to give you that peace of mind, but also to kind of provide a hand for those that you leave behind, that's clear.
Very wise.
I think so.
I'm going to pivot slightly.
Okay.
I know that one of your hobbies is gardening. And as you think about gardening, you also drew the analogy to running a startup, running an early stage company. Tell me about that.
So I love to garden. I love flowers. We talked about this in the past. To me, there's something so magic about a seed, right? The seed is an idea. And that's all I had when I started Eckert Byrne. It was just this idea of doing things differently. And I planted that seed, and 15 years later, I have this firm and a wonderful team. And gardening is very similar. You plant a seed, and whether it's a flower, whether it's a vegetable, whether it's a fruit, you tend to the seed and nurture the seed. Make sure it has water, make sure it has enough fertilizer and sun, and that there are bees pollinating the flowers. And I've learned that it's very important to weed and prune my garden, right? When I'm growing seeds, inevitably there are lots of weeds. And I've learned the same in my practices. I can't be, growing a lot of different ideas at the same time. I have to make sure that I'm very intentional about what it is that I'm growing in my garden in the law firm, as I am in my garden at home. So gardening is very, very helpful. Also maintaining boundaries, right? As a business owner, as an attorney, I need to have boundaries. Otherwise, I really can't focus on the things that I really need to do. Just like in a garden needs boundaries, because the rabbits, the deer, they're going to get into my garden and eat all of my seedlings, and I'm going to have no garden. So I think there are a lot of similar kind of parallels, gardening and being a business owner. You need to be a good farmer.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I'm so thankful that you have joined me today. How does our audience find you?
So they can find me online. You can Google Eckert Byrne or go to eckertbyrne.com, and that will link you to our website, and it will provide you with an overview of the services we offer.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Steve.
And thank you for joining us in this next edition of Brewin on Broad Street.